What I've learned kind of in this first 7 months of the year is really just trying to get out of your own way. And this is not something that I've necessarily came to on my own. I give Joy a lot of credit for this because she's never been shy to just sock me dead in my chin. Not literally, but whenever little things come up and I'm feeling some type of way, she's just like, well, why are you feeling this way? Is it because you're just mad, or you're feeling this way because you didn't do the work desired to achieve said goal? And what really kind of opened my eyes to this thinking was when I read Phil Knight's Shoe Dog book. And I'm gonna spoil one little part of the book, but he started his business essentially as
You want to explain who Phil Knight is for the people?
Yeah, so for those who don't know who Phil Knight is, he's the CEO of Nike, or the former CEO, the founder of Nike, and just the brains behind the largest athletic brand in the world, and probably one of the largest brands, period, in the world. But he started off as a salesman for a Japanese shoe company, and he was one of their main sellers on the West Coast. He went back to the company and said, hey, I want to take over the distribution for the entire US. And they're like, no, in order for to do that, we need someone to have an East Coast office. And he looked back at the head of the company and said, oh yeah, we have an East Coast office, that's not a problem. And they were like, oh, really? So they ended up coming to an agreement, and this Japanese shoe company made him the salesperson for their shoe for the entire United States. Let's keep in mind, when he agreed to this deal, he had no East Coast office.
Nope.
All he had was his office in Oregon.
And we don't condone lying.
No,
but yeah.
But that's all he had. So he came back and he spoke to one of his partners and said, hey, I need you to move to the East Coast. We need to find a building and create and basically create an office.
Yeah.
And that's what they did.
2 weeks.
They had a few weeks and ended up doing it, and here you go. So it just, to me, like that one little line just showed that you don't have to have all the answers, and you don't necessarily have to have all the boxes checked. But those who are successful just say yes, and then they go and do it. They're not like, okay, well, yes, I can become this once I go find this office. Like, no, I'm just gonna sit here and stress the truth a little bit, get this deal, and then look what happens.
Yeah.
And it really just changed my whole way of thinking. It's because you're not going to be able to accomplish much if you're waiting for someone else to do something for you, or you're waiting for the right time for something to happen.